here's our plan for today. We might get close to finishing PowerPoint Part 2, but we want to be sure we don't leave any excellent skills behind. So I'm going to start up PowerPoint, and it remembers my last edits, and here I have my last Section 2, PPT2. We're conserving energy at home. We started some of our own custom graphics on that last slide. Remember what we can do with these graphics? We can select them, adjust their sizing handles. If I have multiple graphics, I can move them around together. I can distribute them. And suppose I want them distributed a little wider across the page. I can just grab one at one end and shift select through the others. And then come back over here to align, no, not align text, shape format. And there's the align. I can distribute them horizontally. Very handy when I have multiple graphics and I'd like them to have a nice look to them. I do not ever see the center of the slide snapping on the image part, but I see the bottom. It'll snap to the center vertically. I come below that, I think it'll snap to the center vertically there. Is there a way to get them to snap to the center left and right? Let's try grouping them and see what happens. If I group them under the shape format group, let's see now if it will show me the center. And yes, indeed, it shows me the snapping to the center of the page now that it's grouped as a graphic. So grouping does have its advantages if I want to adjust things, and I can also click again and individually adjust the shapes within a group. So grouping is a handy thing to do if you want something like this. Treat it as one shape, click once, grab the edge when you see the double arrows, and now it treats it as a single shape, and it is snapping to the center of the slide, and I think the center of the other object in the page, maybe. If I want to center that one, I can grab him, and he'll snap to the center right there. If you care about centering things perfectly. Now the arrow, because it's kind of a funny shape, centering doesn't make a lot of as meaningful. We will still be adjusting this, but let's put some text inside these shapes. I'm going to enlarge them a little bit by grabbing a corner of the group because my text is going to need some room, adjusting it. And now let's add text. Whether it's grouped or not, I have to, if I want to add text to a particular shape, I have to select it, and then I can just start typing. And I'll go back to the textbook here to find out what we're typing in those shapes. We're adding text to shapes. And the leftmost trapezoid we want to add text to. And here is the text we're going to be adding to them. This one I select and I just start typing. Remembers your preferred temperatures. Just start typing and it places the text right inside the shape. And it automatically wraps for you. Temperatures. It does do some spelling checking as well. The next one is going to say turned itself up or down. And this last one's going to say, can be controlled from anywhere. If your text isn't exactly matching mine in terms of how it's wrapping, don't worry. It only has the general text in there. What's disappointing to me is most of the apps I am finding, they do not have a laptop application. Usually it's an app only. My garage door, it's only an app on my phone. I can't control my garage door from my laptop. Or my thermostat. I have both a smart thermostat and smart garage door opener. And just a little bit aside here, this is a nice convenience for you, but remember, if you choose weak passwords or have weak passwords on your wireless, even if you've set everything up, there is the possibility that someone can hack into your devices and control them also from anywhere. So the best lesson for you is use a password manager, use complex passwords, don't use the most common passwords. You're going to be very unhappy if you find someone has decided to control your thermostat and shut it off in the middle of winter. That can be done, pranked or malicious. It is a security concern of your generation, of your age of technology, where it's called the Internet of Things. Everything that you buy that's any sort of complex at all that might be convenient to be controlled by something else is likely has that capability. My new furnace I put in, as I'm going to set it up, I see it's got Bluetooth connection, and it helped me set up my furnace. But no one would have expected that on furnaces, but there is that capability. So be super careful. Don't give away and don't your passwords, and don't choose very weak passwords. Just make it your habit to do that. That's free advice for you coming with this. Okay, now we would like to apply a certain text format to that. Because I have grouped this, I can apply the text format of bold and shadowed and dark text, or black text, upper left theme color, to all the text at once. If it hadn't been grouped, I'd have to select and then shift select all the shapes to apply. But since I had grouped them, it makes it easy to adjust the text. One click and any font selection applies to them all. Now mine are a little bit spaced out a little too much. I think what I want to do is adjust their horizontal distribution a little. I'm going to select, shift select, shift select. Actually, I'm going to select one, go back to one. I'm going to select one, and I'm going to move it in a little bit. And then I'm going to shift select the others and go back and do a alignment of my shapes over here under align, distribute horizontally. If you ever want to get them evenly spaced, that align, distribute is very handy. Vertically, horizontally, align middles and tops. These are the little known alignments that can just add that extra quality to your presentation. Multiple shapes, you'd like them to be distributed evenly. You can manually try to do it, or you can say, hey, let PowerPoint figure it out underneath the alignment. Now, if I want to increase the size of the text, I can hit the Control Shift greater than, but I see this, the text starts wrapping strangely on that one, going way beyond the borders of it. So I back it off until the text has a little bit of space around it. That is one disadvantage of putting text inside of shapes. Some shapes demand lots of white space around your text, even though it seems like you ought to be able to enlarge that text a little bit more. But you can apply shapes, text to shapes, and if you want complete flexibility, you can make it a text box separate from the text inside the shape. If you want to have perfect text with much better options, you can make it a separate text box. Now the arrow. We're going to deal with this arrow now. We like this graphic is just a little decoration on our slide. Let's go ahead and first fill that with a green color. Because we're talking about saving energy. Green is the color for saving energy. So let's change its shape fill to be the standard green color. And let's apply a style to that. And how about a gradient? Is there any gradients? Yeah, let's do the gradient green. And we would also like this to be pointing upward, going more savings, not up and then down, going over a hill. We want it to be flipped. Now, easy way to flip is to grab the fill handle or the sizing handle on that side, holding the shift, not holding the shift key down. Oh, there's a rotate, keeps the proportion, and it snaps when it's rotated perfectly horizontal. If you don't trust yourself to rotate it that way perfectly, remember you can always come over here to the rotate, flip vertical or horizontal, and that gives it a perfect flip without you having to do the dragging. If you just want to do, hey, I'm okay with a slight adjustment in the shape, you can always just grab that and flip it, and so if it's not perfectly the same size as it was before, it's not going to be a big deal, since this is more decoration. And I'm going to move that up a little bit, and I'd also like it to be sent to the back. Let's see, I'm going to bring it to touch the edge of that slide. I'll bring that down a little bit. I don't want it blocking text, so I can right click, send to back. And now I have decent looking graphics, and yet there's more. We've distributed those objects, aligned them. The ruler is handy to see sometimes, to see when things are aligned. And if the grid lines are ever helpful, remember you can always turn on grid lines in case it helps you to align things. I find the little red line that shows up when I'm adjusting something helps me to snap to the right position. See how it shows me when I'm equal space between those two? I think it'll show me when I'm centered between those as well. You don't have to show the grid lines. You're not always snapping to the grid lines. Sometimes they're helpful to show you how to line things up, or if you want an exact size of things. I don't find them yet that useful myself most of the time, but they're there, and you can even turn on guides as you adjust things. They don't show on your slide, just in case you're worried. So we've adjusted our shapes, we've adjusted our arrow. Now it's time to bring in another shape. And also, while we have that arrow shaped, remember we can adjust the head of the arrow in multiple ways: the width of the ribbon, the vertical size of that arrowhead, and the horizontal size of the arrowhead. That's all in your control when you have the yellow adjustment handles. We don't need any text inside of the arrow shape. We're done with the grouping. And now it's time to bring in a few more additional shapes for some extra graphical practice on the bottom of this slide. Here we go. I want to bring in a shape. I can find inserted shapes over here, or on the Home tab here, or on the Insert ribbon under Shapes. So you can decide where to search for that. Usually, if I'm here and doing a lot of graphics, I'm on the shape format. I will insert it from here. And the shape we want to bring in is from the flowchart section, the punched tape, flowchart punch tape. Select that and then come draw it, something like this. The exact position and width is not super critical. We are going to be putting text inside of it, so we don't want to make it too narrow vertically. Now we're going to put on top of that shape a moon on the left side and a sun on the right side. Grab over here. It's over here on the basic shapes. There's my moon shape. And I'm going to draw it something like this, overlapping a little bit beyond the edges of the punched flowchart. And you can adjust your position and do the similar thing with the sun. The exact position is not critical. Make it go beyond the shape just so you'll see the next thing we do, the effects of a shape that is slightly overlapping another shape. And let's see, if I hold the shift key down, does it keep my sun round? Yeah, the shift key keeps my sun nice and round. And if I don't want it perfectly vertical, I could rotate my sun a little bit. Give it a little bit of a interest there. And same thing with the moon. Let's grab him, rotate him a little bit just for a little bit of an interest. but it's not perfectly vertical in the sky. Now something new. Many people don't know about this. Let's go ahead and multiple select these objects. I can drag around them to select them. Oh, I missed selecting the whole sun. Let's shift click on the sun to get that in there too. Those three shapes selected, either with a drag around or shift select each one. Now comes the thing most people don't know about. This little guy hiding right up here called the merge shapes effect. Watch what happens with a union. It basically gloms them all together in one shape. The combine has an interesting effect. The fragment, I think, cuts them into multiple small shapes. The intersect, not much interesting there. The subtract, it subtracts, looks like it subtracts everything else from the moon. What we'd like to use is the combine effect. I click that, and now I have an object that is a combination graphic from those other three. I cannot go back and select the sun again and rotate it or adjust the moon. It has become a new thing all in itself that if I want to adjust, I can't redo anything except redrawing shapes. Let's see now if I start typing text whether it is rotated text, because I didn't mean for the text to be rotated. It looks like the rotation of that sun made a strange tipping of my shape. Let's start adding some text to this now, and the text we want to add is a smart thermostat works night and day. Let's see what happens to my text. I'll just start typing a smart thermostat works night and day. Oh, I want night and day to be on a separate line. So I'm going to hit an enter after the word works and delete that extra space in there. Now I'm a little disappointed that my text got rotated, all because I rotated my sun over here. And let's see, is there anything I can do to unrotate the text without rotating the graphic itself? Is there a way? Let's see. It would be underneath text, I would think. I have the text. Let's try selecting all the texts. Is there any way to rotate the text? There's shape, there's text effects. I can 3D rotate the text. Is there a way to rotate it? Oh, let's try 3D rotation options. And let's just try the Z rotation. That's the one that rotates it in my view, and let's see if it will work here. Z rotation. I can't go negative, huh? Well, I guess I'll just have to. Oh, let's try this guy. There we go. I got my text to be rotated a bit, all because I had to correct for my rotated sun. And oh, what happened? If I let go of it, oh, there it goes. Question? Oh, I went to, I had my text, and I went to text effects. Where's my text effects? I went to text effects, having this text selected. Did I right click? No. Text effects. And here's text direction. Shape effects. I want the text effects. Maybe I had to go to my home tab. Let's try shape format. Yes, text effects. I had to go shape format, text effects, and I went all the way. Not there. Not that text. Uh-oh.
Bevel, I think.
What's that?
Bevel, I think. Under bevel.
Where?
I think it's under text effects, but then through 3D rotation.
Oh, that's right. There, that's right. I forgot. It was 3D. And then, yeah, I was looking for that option. There we go. And then, there's where I got to my 3D. It's a little bit complicated, though, isn't it? And watch what happens. If I edit the text, it rotates it. Control A, and I can enlarge it. it actually derotates once I let go, remembering it has that Z rotation in it. So editing of it makes it look like it's tipped, but it really isn't. So see that again, it's under Text Effects, 3D, there. I forgot my path. Now, normally you wouldn't have to worry about this, and we actually didn't have to worry about this in the previous class. It's all because I had decided to rotate my sun before grouping that or before merging it. So merging it does throw a little extra there. It causes your rotation to go weird sometimes. So that was a lot of interesting things you could do with that text. Now we would like to have this filled with green, so let's choose a green color for a fill. And since the arrow was gradient, let's do the gradient fill on that too. To me, that's a little bit of a bug in the grouping or the merging. Why does it rotate it? Because of the merge. So the merge is a little bit weird for us. Yes?
Would an easier way just be putting a text box just over it?
Yeah.
Instead of just having to...
Yep.
So it keeps the same slick design.
Yep.
Just not have to-
And I would do that. As after merging this and realizing what a pain it was, yes, I would definitely say, you know, I could do a text object. It's not rotated, and I don't have to mess with all that, getting that angle just right. Yeah, that's an excellent solution to this little effect of the merging and rotating text. Now, there is a slide that we skipped over that I want to get in there. We want to get a slide that gives us our energy steps, and I'm going to find my slide here. I skipped over him for some reason here, and we're going to put an image in this slide. Find the little slide with the little arrowy guy, or it's a smart art that we brought in that we were supposed to bring in last time that I must have skipped over. We want a slide. We're going to bring in a new slide. Insert our new slide. The slide's going to be, oh wait a minute, where did that go? Our little arrow guy. Let's try a new slide. Let's try layout. Uh-oh, did I lose my little up arrow? I deleted a slide. Oh, I know what I did. We brought in a smart art. We did a blank slide with smart art. Let me find that. Now I remember. It was a smart art that I skipped over last time. There we go. We're starting with a blank slide and bringing in a smart art graphic. And here we go. So bring in a new blank slide. We're going to put it right after this slide. And we'll bring in a new slide. It's going to be just a blank slide. And now we're bringing in smart art with the insert smart art. This time we're going to do, I think it's the cycle one. No, not cycle, process. The process, where's our little process guy? This little process guy right here, the upward arrow process smart art. I click that and click OK. And let's adjust it off to the left just a little bit. Oh, not just the arrow thing. Let's adjust the whole thing off to the left. And the text that we're going to put in here, the process smart art, this time it does have placeholders. This is going to be hourly pricing. Auto sizing my text for me as I type. Peak time savings. And central AC cycling. And I realized I really did want a title to this slide. So let's go back here and change my layout to title only, and it adds a title placeholder for me. So I can always change my layout later without losing my graphics. I do have a problem here with these graphics tromping over the little arrow. I'm going to move the text away from the arrow just a bit so it's a little more readable. Oops, grabbed the wrong thing there. Move that down a bit. Select, and I can either resize that down or move the whole text box down. just to make it a little more readable. Now it's a little bit spaced away from the arrow. I'll put it there. Now with this graphic, we would also like to apply a little bit of a style to this. Having this selected, make sure it's just the main item is selected. The style on this one and the design of it, we would like to choose one of these styles. If I choose the 3D style, I can't come in. Well, I can edit that, but I don't see the moving of that box anymore. But if I choose I think the one they had in the book was the powder. Is that powder? Yeah, they like the powder one. If I choose that style, I see I can still adjust the position of that text. So we choose the powder style, and let's see, we also want a title for that slide, and the title is, oh, they don't give us a title. Oh, I thought we were going to give that a title. We would like now to bring in an image on that, and then we're going to be adding a title then, I guess. So let's jump to that part now that I had skipped over before. We're coming back to this slide and adjusting the graphics. So get to that part now. We did our shapes on our own. And we would like to add a shape here. It's going to be a 7-pointed star added to the end of that arrow. And the sections in the book aren't letting me. There we go. Now we're back to this guy. So we're going to add a 7-pointed star that's going to be ending this arrow to make a little better graphics here. So inserting a 7-pointed star, since I'm on the home tab, I can go here for insert, and here's my 7-pointed star down here, right, that guy right there. I'm going to adjust him somewhere up here. Adjust the position to be kind of towards the end of that arrow. But I would like this 7-pointed star to be matching this arrow and rotation. The arrow angle and rotation. Well, I could rotate my little 7-pointed star like that with grabbing the little rotate handle. I can nudge it up with my little left and right arrows. But to get the angle to match, I can grab that little adjustment handle and give that a little better angle adjustment. I'll just rotate a little bit here. So nice capabilities there in multi-pointed stars, and every shape you draw, look for the little yellow handle, gives you some adjustment to that. We're not done though. That's a little boring looking. It's decent, but we'd like this to be more exciting, like maybe some exciting lightning or electrical thing in here. How about a electrical circuit? Or yeah, let's do an electrical circuit. How would I do that? Well, it would be on Shape Fill, Picture. I can fill a shape with a picture. And I can choose an online picture. And let's look for something electrical. That's more nerdy electrical wiring. You could choose one of those. I'm thinking maybe more lightish. How about electrical light? Okay, so I'm getting different light bulb images. I'm going to try a light bulb. Let's see. You can pick any of those light bulb images. We did learn that if I choose an image where the light bulb is full in the image, watch what happens when I fill the shape by doing insert. The bulb outline kind of gets cut off. So I don't quite want a light bulb that fills the image. Let's try a different image to give me a little bit of a padding around it. And we found out, we tried to look, is there a way to actually adjust how that picture fills? I could not find a way to adjust how the picture fills the shape. I just learned I better pick a light bulb that has some space around it, or all I get is kind of the remainders of the innards of a light bulb, and might not be able to tell what it is. So I'm going to I'll do this one. And what happened? Didn't get insert. There, we finally brought it in. That doesn't look much like a light bulb. And again, I don't have much control over how the light bulb image fits in there. So I don't like that one. I'm going to go try a different one. It doesn't look like enough like a light bulb. So shape fill. Choose another one. I'm going to stick with this next one. I'm going to search for light bulb. Light bulb. Something with some spacing around it. I'll go with this one. There we go. Everyone recognizes that as light bulb. It looks to me like it actually does stretch or warp the image a little bit. So if you have a square shape, it looks like you're going to want a square image, or I could see some warping happening. Now that's pretty good. Lets me see it's a light bulb. How about we get that light bulb turned a little bit? The image does rotate with my shape. And now let's apply some shape effects. Or how about an outline first? Let's give it a nice thick outline. And let's change the color of my outline. After making a thicker outline, let's also change the color to a standard green. No matter what theme they decide to change this presentation to, that will stay green. Let's also make the outline dashed. I've never met, let's see what happens. Oh, I could do a sketched. That's kind of interesting outline. I think dashed would be better. That's looking a little electrical to me. And just to add a little more electrical, cool graphic effects, let's go ahead and apply a shape effect of a glow around it. And you can choose either a yellow or a green glow. I'm going to go with the green glow. Or should I choose? Is that a themed color I'm choosing? It's not clear. I'm going to choose a standard green glow, so it stays green again if they change the theme elsewhere. And I thought we were putting a title on this slide. After adjusting that, about the glow, and they better be give me the title. There, finally they give me the title. Manage your energy. I would have put this title way at the start, but they don't tell us what the title is until they've done all their graphics. And just to make it even more exciting, let's make an exclamation point. You can adjust the size of your title however you like. So I think we're doing okay. Let's just do a test of that on the screen. Yeah, decent look. The text feels a little big on the arrows. Let's see if I can adjust that. I'm going to shift select each one. And let's see if I can adjust the text size. Yeah, I can bring that text size down just a bit. I think I like that. It was getting a little too obnoxiously large. And I'm going to bring this down, pulled away from the arrow just a tiny bit. I like that a little better. Those are just a few fine graphical things I would do. All right, now for adding just a little bit more interest to our image on the title slide, we have a nice title, nice cool graphics. Let's throw in something about a energy conserving home here. So let's bring in an image picture from the online, and let's look for, how about energy saving home? Energy saving home. Ooh, we get lots of possible pictures. That's a cool one with a little light bulb, green light bulb. So that would be a decent one. I'm gonna shorten my search. How about green home? Oh, there's a little simpler picture. That's a cuter picture. There's this one. You could decide which one you like. There's a more simplified one. I think I like that. This little guy. I think the cartoony, but with a little 3D effect. Double click, and I've got a nice home, but I want this home to be down here, and I think I'd like a shape outline around it. What could I do? Remember that shape format. Where's my cropping? Or is it picture format? Picture format. There. Picture format. Crop to shape. I can actually apply a shape after I've chosen a picture. So I can crop to a shape, and let's choose this shape with the cutoff corner right there. Diagonal corner snipped. How about this one? I'm gonna try this one. And I can't tell any difference. Did it get cropped to a shape? Ooh, maybe it's not doing what I thought. It looks like I've got two pieces. I'm going to delete that title part of it. Can I delete that? Let's delete that part. Now let's try applying the shape to it. Right? I want to go to picture format. Where's my crop to shape again? Let's try this again. Didn't seem to do right. Let's try a different shape. Maybe it is and I just can't tell. I suppose if I apply border to it, then I'll be able to tell. Let's try this one again. Let's probably, oh, I can tell. I see a little arrow sizing handle. So it is cropping it to a cutoff corner, but I can't tell because the shape has no border. So let's give it a border, and now I'll be able to tell, oh, I do have a shape. Let's make that green, and let's give it a weight. Now I can tell it's there. Now I see that this border, I can only adjust the cutoff of that corner. What if I want to cut off this corner too? Can I change my shape? Let's try. Let's crop to shape. Let's try the double cutoff corner, that guy right there. And I can adjust those corners. Oh, and this one adjusts two corners together. I guess that's all right. Now let's shrink that down to something near the size of my title right about there. Now, what if someone came to me and said, you know, I want the corners cut off top and bottom on the right? Well, let's see. If I rotate my shape, oh, look, my picture rotates too. Is there a way to unrotate my picture but keep my shape? Let's see. Picture format. Let's try rotating my picture. Oh, it wants to rotate my shape too because the shape is applied to the picture. So it looks like if I wanted the corners cut off on the right, I don't know if there's a shape that'll let me do that. Let's check my crop to shape. And I don't think there's a shape that lets me adjust the right side corners. Let's try this one and see. Yeah, he only gives me that corner to adjust. I don't think there's a shape that lets me do that. In the book they had an image that must have been rotated already, and then they rotated it with the shape. But that gives us a little eye candy there. How about, let's see, what would happen if I apply a glow? Will it glow around the house or will it glow around the border? Let's find out. That would be under Picture Effects, Glow, and let's see what it looks like. Oh, it only glows the border. Is it glowing around the house a bit? I think it is. Let's adjust my glow. Let's go down to glow options and give me my full control over the glow. Let's change the glow color to be the standard green. And let's see what happens with the glowing if I change the size. Yes, it does glow the house too. So if I didn't have a border glowing, a border there, only the house would be glowing. And I think the yellow is a better glow. Yeah, I like the yellow a little better. All right, so now you can apply graphics, borders, glowing, rotation, fill a shape with a picture like this one, or crop a picture to a shape. You know both ways now. The crop a picture to a shape, a little harder to find. And let's see what we're doing next. I think we're just a few more refinements to our presentation. We would like to show a header and footer. Remember, those are actually modifying your master slide, but I can go to the Insert Header Footer menu, and basically this turns on shapes that are hiding over there in my master slide. I can turn on Show Me My Date and Time, turn on the slide number, turn on the footer, and of course if I want something in their date and time, let's go ahead and put in the date we're writing this. Let's go October 2nd. October. Let's put in a footer of our company name. Let's put in Emmaus Bible College. We're experts at energy saving. And this is pretty standard where we don't show the header and footer on the title slide. I click Apply to All, meaning it applies to not just this particular layout that I'm in, but will apply to all slides. I click Apply to All. Now let's do a little exploring. Let's go to the next slide. There I see Emmaus Bible College, but it's not very readable. Let's increase the readability of our company by going to View, Slide Master, and in there I have control over that text in there, and I'm going to increase the size of the text by just selecting that object and in Control Shift greater than. If I make it too big, remember it may tromp on other graphics that are on my other slides, but it makes it more readable to my audience. I could apply a text color to that at this point because I am control of the master slide. Oh, I just realized I'm controlling the master of that particular slide. I want to control them all. I'm going to go here to the super master and change the text there. I was changing it in one place. Where did I change it? It looks like, is he putting a separate, it looks like he's putting a separate footer on each slide because I can edit those on the different sub layouts. So it looks like you have layout, you have control of your title on every layout style. Okay, now we can go back to my main view, and I will see I have a footer with a date and slide number on every slide. And before we're done here, we want to play a little bit with some transitions. We're going to be doing some animations next time, and then we'll get on the next project. But we want to do some transitions. And I'm going to start here with a new transition that I don't think was in the previous version. To demonstrate this, we're going to make a duplicate of this slide, this very last slide that has shapes. I'm going to click and control drag it to a new position at the bottom. Now I have a duplicate of that one. The second slide, I'm just going to make some adjustments to the shape. I'm going to move the shape over a bit. I'm going to move this shape up a bit. And how about, I'm going to change the word remembers to stores. The only reason I'm doing this is I'm going to try out the new morph transition effect. Oh, look at that. It lets me adjust my footer position even though I'm not in the master slide. I'm surprised at that. I didn't realize I could do that. Now let's watch what happens with the morph transition. I'm going to go to the Transitions tab. Remember, the transition is the transition into this slide. So I choose a slide. The transition I'll see is, I won't see it until I go to the previous slide and then transition into this slide. Let's see what happens with the morph transition. It's the new morph transition. And now let's play the previous slide transitioning to my new slide. Select that slide, click the play here. There's my previous slide. I click, and the morph adjusts my text, or adjusts my shapes. This doesn't work very well if it's a completely different content from one slide to another. It works best when you have similar content And I'm going to also go to my morph options here, back on this slide. Underneath the effect options, I can decide whether to morph my words or characters. And it gives you a little advice about that. Now let's see what that morph looks like. I'm going to watch the word remembers, because all the other words stay the same. Let's play this and watch the morphing from remembers to stores. Oh, that was pretty boring. I've seen it scramble. Maybe I have to. Well, I checked my options again. Did I not check? I did say scramble the words. Let's try characters this time. Maybe that's what I wanted. Let's try it now. Let's play. And transition. Oh, boring. Now you can, in all your slides, you can choose lots of these cool transitions. If you have an older computer, do not choose the super fancy like the Vortex or Glitter. Some of them aren't too bad, but some of them will really slow down or lock up an older computer and be very chunky at its transition. But they're pretty cool looking if you got a fast computer. The old Vortex effects, cool graphic effects. We'll be doing some more graphics next time, but we'll stop here. And so save what you have. We're almost done with this presentation, but I want to spend a little bit of time on animation, because that gives you a lot of power in getting your, especially visual learners, paying attention to your presentation. So save what you have, and you can head off to chapel.